Hello and welcome to this special HBM's Crypto Corner. Not only am I doing this for the YouTube channel, I'm also putting together a live HBM's Crypto Corner tonight, which will probably go up about, I'd say 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It'll be on my Facebook page. I will include a link to my Facebook page below. But I thought I'd talk about a seemingly forgotten figure in cryptozoology, and that is a fellow named Thomas Baker Tom Slick. Now, Tom Slick was born on May 9th, 1916. We've just celebrated his 103rd birthday. His father was Thomas Slick Sr., made a killing during the Oklahoma oil boom in the 1910s. And Slick Jr. inherited this fortune and expanded upon it after his father's death. Now, interestingly enough, Tom Slick's stepfather was kidnapped by George Machine Gun Kelly in 1933. And when the feds went in there to get George Kelly, he said, "You got me, G-Man." So the term G-Man came from George Machine Gun Kelly. Now, Slick's initial interest in cryptozoology appeared during his time at Yale. He was interested after seeing the 1928 expedition involving the giant panda. Apparently, he was inspired by something he'd read, purportedly after reading about a creature called a hoat, half hog, half goat, in a Ripley's Believe It or Not comic. He drove to a farm in Arkansas to buy one and even tried to breed his own. He also went to Europe in 1937, stopped off at Loch Ness, and spent some time looking for Nessie. Now, he has a research institute in San Antonio, Texas. Not only that, there's also a park there, which is named after Tom Slick. There is a metal Loch Ness monster, and that Loch Ness monster is in a lake at the park. There's also giant footprints on the playground at the park. Giant Yeti footprints, because Tom Slick funded searches for and even searched for the Yeti himself. He also had something called the Mind Science Foundation, which wanted to know about various individuals that could do supposedly extraordinary things, like the Indian rope trick and bending spoons with your mind and things of that nature. Needless to say, when they tried this out, or when they went to these people, it turned out that, they got sold a bill of goods. Slick and his people. Now, Slick funded searches for the Orang Pendek as well, which I was unaware of until recently. The Orang Pendek, the short creature from the island of Sumatra, from Indonesia. Now, also, he funded searches, of course, for the Yeti. He went to the Himalayas himself in 1957, but unfortunately, there was a bus wreck. You can see that he injured his knee, and it took many weeks for that knee injury to heal. So, therefore, now he heard about the Yeti when he went to India a few times. And he decided to go on the 1957 trip, but that was the last trip he went on. Because after that, his mother made him promise that he would not go on any more trips and risk his own life. It was the last trip that he would personally head up. I mean, he stayed behind in America while others actually did the searching, such as Peter Byrne, his brother Brian, and others. And plenty of Sherpa porters. Now, in 1958, there were photographs of supposed Yeti scalps, a supposed Yeti hand. Slick apparently was able to personally debunk that hand, but there was a second alleged Yeti hand, this one mummified. Now that's the Pangboche hand. That's the one that Peter Byrne got the finger from and smuggled it out of the Himalayas with Jimmy Stewart. Smuggled it in Jimmy Stewart's wife Gloria's lingerie case. Now the funny thing is, the lingerie case had gotten lost on the way to London, and eventually a British customs agent found it and took it to Gloria Stewart. Gloria Stewart said, "You did jokingly, well, you didn't open it, did you?" And the British customs agent said, "No, ma'am, we never open anything like this. We never open anything that's personal to ladies, especially." And the finger was in that case, and it was given to Dr. W.C. Osmond Hill. And the finger was actually missing for like 50 years. And then eventually it was rediscovered in 2011. And it turned out to be a human finger. It turned out to be a human hand. But it was interesting. And then after the expeditions in the Himalayas were finished in 1959, Slick decided to turn his efforts to the Pacific Northwest, more specifically Northern California, because of the occurrences that had happened in 1958 with the track finds, especially the track find by Jerry Crew, where he casted two footprints. And of course, Crew was photographed with one of those footprints. Now, Jerry Crew did work with Slick's group, with Peter Byrne, and with Slick's organization, or his group, which I thought was pretty cool. He worked with them from like 1959 to, I believe, the final, what do you call it, expedition. Tom Slick passed away October 6, 1962. While returning from a hunting trip in Canada, his plane crashed in Montana, though it was also said to have disintegrated while in flight. And Hoax or Humanoid, 1960. Now, the expedition began in 1959 and carried on into 1960. Leader of the expedition was Tom Slick. Now, he wasn't always there, obviously, but Peter Byrne was, and there were others that were part of this group, this expedition. Ivan T. Sanderson was involved for a little bit as well, and his expertise was utilized in the hunt for Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And of course, he wrote what is considered one of the definitive books, Abominable Snowman Legend Come to Life. Y'all may remember a video that I did last year about Ivan Sanderson's book correlated with Roger Patterson's book. But there was also F. Kirk Johnson. Now, he helped finance a snowman expedition, a Yeti expedition, into the Himalayas in 1957. Now, the two brothers, yes, were Brian and Peter Byrne. They're talking about two brothers from Ireland. Now, Slick would frequently fly to California to check on the progress of the expedition operations, but he wasn't there all the time. And then also, This is about the park that is in San Antonio. There's a park that is dedicated to Tom Slick. He founded the Southwest Research Institute 72 years ago. And some of the things that they've done with that organization, providing innovative science, technology, and engineering services to clients around the world, employs 2,600 people. That's pretty impressive. It's a metal statue of the Loch Ness Monster. That's it right there.
World's most shocking monster. Monster.
Oops.
No one.
Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong thing. I thought I would show you all this video clip, or this news clip, about Tom Slick Park.
Is Throwback Thursday and all the hashtags, and here on KSAT News at 9. This is where we take time to look back at the historic events, people, and the places that have helped shape our community. And tonight we're talking about a great place to enjoy being outside, getting some fresh air. But do you know the story behind Tom Slick Park on San Antonio's west side? RJ Marquez explains the park is named after the man behind a major research institute.
Tom Slick Jr. founded Southwest Research Institute 72 years ago.
The amazing things that they do is just incredible, and how much they've grown over the last, 20, 30 years.
Southwest Research Institute provides innovative science, tech, and engineering services to clients around the world. The nonprofit now employs 2,600 people. Slick's spirit lives on in the institute he founded, but it also lives on here at Tom Slick Park off of Highway 151.
Great location, great dog park, playgrounds, just tons of things for people to do.
Southwest Research donated the land for the park to the city. San Antonio's Parks and Rec Department has made sure to incorporate Slick's sense of adventure.
Tom Slick himself was just a different kind of guy. He just felt very strongly that there was other things out there. I think he believed in aliens.
If you've ever been to the park, maybe you've seen this. It's the Loch Ness Monster peeking out of the pond. There's a reason the city placed the mythical creature right here.
I know he believed in the Loch Ness Monster.
Another feature you may have noticed on the playground, these giant prints, supposedly left behind by the abominable snowman.
He also thought of the abominable snowman, Yeti, those kind of things, and he would actually go, and he had the means to be able to go and look for them. So he would go to the Himalayas, he would go to Scotland and go to the lochs, and he would look for these things.
More tributes to Slick's fascination with the unexplainable will be added to the park in the future. In the meantime, the city says the park is just a great place to enjoy the outdoors.
Open spaces are incredibly valuable, and it makes the quality of life better. You can have a picnic, you can play ball, you can do so much for free at no cost. And a lot of times people just want to go and explore. Who knows what else is out there.
For the 9, RJ Marquez.
If you would like to see any of the other stories that we have featured in our Throwback Thursday series, just go to ksat.com/news at 9. Now, this is just one of the series that we feature here on the News at 9. Let's take a look at some of the others. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Steve.
Okay, you basically got the gist of what that story was about. Very interesting and very fascinating. That's pretty neat that there is a city park dedicated to a cryptozoologist. Now, the reason I say that Tom Slick is a seemingly forgotten cryptozoologist is because not too many Bigfooters, not too many cryptozoologists really bring him up anymore. It's really a shame. There should be more thoughts and more coverage on Tom Slick. I would not want him to be forgotten. I think he was an important figure. There may be those who disagree, but hey, that's okay. He was an important figure, at least I think he was. Not only did he look for Bigfoot, the Yeti, Orang Pendek, and Loch Ness Monster, he looked for giant salamanders in Northern California. I believe he was doing this right around the time that he was looking for Bigfoot. He'd heard that there were giant salamanders in Northern California. and he looked for them there, interestingly enough. There have been a couple of books released about Tom Slick. There was Lauren Coleman's Tom Slick, True Life Encounters in Cryptozoology, which was released in 2002. There was also Tom Slick, Mystery Hunter by Catherine Nixon Cook. Now, Catherine Nixon Cook is Tom Slick's niece. That book was released in 2005. I don't have that particular book. I do have True Life Encounters in Cryptozoology, but I don't have the book by his niece. That may be one of my next purchases. But I do have the one by Lauren Coleman, and it's really good. And interestingly enough, there were rumors that Slick was involved with the CIA, and that some of the expeditions to search for the Yeti in the Himalayas were actually a cover for CIA activity from Slick and his organization, and Slick and his expedition. Now, I don't know what to make of that. I imagine if you were to ask Peter Byrne today, he'd probably look at you like you had lobsters coming out of your ears. He probably wouldn't know what to say. Or he would completely deny anything referring to the CIA. That there was secret CIA activity that they were engaging in, that they were spying. Take from that what you will. I don't know how true it is. But it adds an interesting element to the story, I have to tell you that much. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this special edition of HBM's Crypto-Corner about Tom Slick. I hope he won't be forgotten, and I hope that my audience won't forget about him either. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this. Y'all be good or be good at it.